All right, welcome back, everyone. Vancouver has a reputation of having a challenging dating scene, and the city just can't seem to shake it off. Many say that it's too hard to approach and meet new people, so we've invited Paddi, president of Executive Search Dating. And
well, listen, my view on this is I do agree that there's a perception out there that Vancouver is a hard place to meet people. But I actually don't think it's as hard as people say it is. I think what's happened in Vancouver, especially for whatever reason the last year or two, was we have come to believe so strongly in this perception that it's an unfriendly city, that has in fact become a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think everyone thinks that it's hard to meet people, and so nobody's meeting people, which makes it even worse. So what I tell people is Vancouver is much more like a European city and much less like an American city.
And by that you mean?
In Europe, I lived in Switzerland and went to business school there and lived in Germany. I can assure you, people are not running down the streets in Germany and Switzerland handing you their business card. It's very hard to meet people, but when you do meet people, there is a real sincerity there, and you can really make a connection. In American cities, you can meet 100 people, you can get 20 business cards, but you can also try to call them 2 days later and get a hang-up. So it's not the easiest city, but it's not the hardest.
Right? What do you think, Paddi?
Yeah, well, the first thing, I'd actually echo something that Cherie said, because it is quite important. If you've got the right attitude, every place is a good place to meet people, and if you have the wrong attitude, no place is a good place to meet people. But having said that, two things. Be seasonal. It's sunny. It's a gorgeous weekend out. Barbecues and house parties are a great place to meet people. You've got friends that know people. Don't just wait to be invited to a barbecue. Have one yourself. Bring your barbecue down to Jericho Beach and invite some friends, and tell them to invite some single friends.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
And also, after work, bars and pubs can work. Aim for the after-work crowd. I find after-work people are a little bit, it's less like a normal bar, and it's a different crowd of people, more professionals.
Yes, because we always
Here's the question to both of you in terms of people watching, and what may have really piqued their interest is, okay, I've not had luck meeting, I'm speaking hypothetically. I've not had luck meeting someone. So you were talking about engaging the opening line. Right now, during the morning rush, no one's going to stop and tell you, so, yeah, hey, how's it going? They're just getting their coffee, they're moving on. But when you have a moment, what do you suggest as an opening line? That's the standard question that you get asked all the time. We'll begin with you, Paddi. What's a good way to really engage someone and sort of build on that initial spark?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's really two elements of meeting somebody. Number one is be approachable, and yes, that does mean smiling, but also be intelligent. I mean, if you're sitting at a coffee shop, don't sit in the back in a big booth surrounded by people. Sit at a place where there's a spare chair beside you. Secondly, smile and be approachable. Get conversational momentum. Don't just focus on talking to that one person that you're attracted to. Start talking to other people. Be friendly. And that creates a conversational momentum, which will make it a lot easier to really connect with somebody that you do meet.
I totally agree.
And one thing, practice. You know, when you started driving a car, did you just jump into a car and drive it, or did you practice before you started driving a car? Get in front of a mirror and practice approaching and what you might say when you meet somebody. Practice makes perfect.
There's
a ton of incredible single people in Vancouver, more than any city that I've lived in all my life. And it's just a question of maybe breaking down those barriers and not getting caught up too much in the myth that you don't actually make the approach in the first place.
Good advice from both of you.
All right.